Understand that neither of these ball clubs have won a World Series. Even crazier, one of these teams hasn't even won a postseason series. To get a better grasp of this moment, we need to use a time machine. In other words, we need to rewind. The Rockies have Matt Holliday on third base and less than 2 outs. This is crucial because any fly ball to the outfield can theoretically send the Rockies to the National League Division Series on sacrifice fly. However, the mere fact that the Rockies are hosting this one-game playoff is crazy to think about. Back on September 15th, the Rockies were just 76-72. Yeah, you heard me right. Just 16 days ago, the Rockies were barely above 500. So how the heck are the Rockies even tied with the Padres for the National League wildcard spot? As Al Davis would say,
just win, baby.
Just win, baby. Yeah, the Rockies have sure won a lot of games lately. An unfathomable 10-game winning streak from September 16th until September 27th saw the Rockies go from 4.5 games back of the Padres to just 1. In a twist of fate, the Rockies swept the Padres during that winning streak to get back into the NL wildcard race. But hey, that was just a lucky winning streak, right? There's no way this ball club led by Clint Hurdle could win 2 out of 3 against the first-place Arizona Diamondbacks and sneak into the playoffs, correct? And if you answered anything but yes to those questions, you'd be dead wrong. Arizona ended Colorado's winning streak during Game 1 of the crucial 3-game set, but after dominating the Diamondbacks 11-1 on September 29th, the Rockies held on for a 4-3 win on the last day of the regular season. Nail-biting wins have been nothing new to the Rockies and their fan base. One of their wins during the 12-1 finish to the regular season included a 14-inning victory over the Padres. But have the Rockies simply taken the wild card away from the Padres, or did San Diego majestically crumble down the stretch? Well, it's a little bit of both. Entering MLB game action on September 16th, the Padres were 80-67. They ended up finishing the year at 89-73. So a 9-6 record in their last 15 games is nothing to be embarrassed about from your ball players. But a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Rockies was still pretty bad, especially considering that all 3 games were at Petco Park. Also, the Padres had the Brewers down to their last strike on September 29th, but Tony Gwynn Jr. knocked a game-tying triple off Trevor Hoffman to send the game into extra innings. How brutal irony is that? The son of the greatest Padre ever quite possibly stopped you from going to the playoffs. What gets lost in the shuffle is that the Rockies were actually a third-place team in the wildcard race prior to their incredible finish. The Dodgers were up 3 games on the Rockies after all the games concluded on September 15th. So what the heck happened to the Dodgers? It's hard to exactly say why they simply forgot to play baseball, but their final record speaks for itself. On September 15th, the Dodgers were 10 games over 500. By September 30th, the team barely finished with a winning record at 82-80. You can't make this stuff up. The Dodgers went from 79-69 and just 1.5 games back on San Diego for the wildcard spot to finishing 7 games back of both Colorado and San Diego. Colorado literally had to sweep Los Angeles to knock the Dodgers out of the playoffs, and the Rockies did just that from September 25th until September 27th. The Dodgers might be known for playoff choking nowadays, but late-season chokes are nothing new to the Dodger faithful. Anyway, back to the Padres and Rockies. The Rockies were 12-1 down the stretch, but a minor choke job by the name of Ron Burgundy allowed Colorado to host a 1-game playoff. The Padres were 2 games ahead of the Rockies on September 29th, meaning they just had to win either of their next 2 games against the Milwaukee Brewers or 1 Rockies loss the next 2 days clinched a wild card spot for Bud Black's team. The 2007 Milwaukee Brewers were actually in first place of the NL Central Division during most of the regular season, but a late surge by the Cubs, as well as a collapse, saw the Brewers outside of the playoffs for yet another year. They still played spoilers, though, and after dispatching the Padres in 11 innings on September 29th, the Brew Crew disallowed September 30th from being the Padres' clinch day. A very convincing 11-6 win for Milwaukee as the Padres had to fly from Milwaukee to Denver for a National League West grudge match. Just like that, Game 163 determined who would win the National League wild card. This was huge for Rockies fans as their favorite baseball team hadn't sniffed the postseason since 1995. Colorado began as an expansion franchise in 1993, and the Rockies earned the first ever NL wildcard spot in 1995. The Rockies fought hard in the division series against the Atlanta Braves, but the eventual World Series champion Braves took care of the Blake Street Bombers 3-1. But since then, the Rockies have always found ways to lose games. More importantly, it's their pitching staff who seemingly always lets them down. Even when the Rockies won the wild card in 1995, you probably don't know any of their starting pitchers. Kevin Ritz, Bill Swift, and Marvin Freeman were arguably their 3 best pitchers that season. Colorado was so desperate for starting pitching help that they signed Mike Hampton to an unreal 8-year, $121 million contract after the 2000 season concluded. All of the money in Major League Baseball is guaranteed, by the way, so why would the Rockies sign a pitcher to an 8-year deal? Simply put, it's hard to find free agent pitchers who want to pitch in Coors Field, the home ballpark of the Rockies, where the ball hits the mile-high wind and sails out of play. If you don't remember Mike Hampton playing for the Rockies, you're not the only one. He only lasted 2 years in Denver, with his last season being a dreadful 6.14 ERA and opponents batted .313 against him. So for the Rockies to be successful, they usually need to outslug teams. But that wasn't exactly the case in 2007. Jeff Francis won 17 games for the Rockies this season. Ubaldo Jimenez was on this team, and the relatively unknown Aaron Cook posted an ERA under 4.2. In a nutshell, this surprising Rockies team can play a little small ball and outpitch teams as well. But tonight has been anything but a pitcher's duel. In a typical Coors Field shootout, the Rockies blew an early 3-0 lead. The San Diego Padres swiftly answered with 5 runs in the top of the third, and it looked like the Padres finally hit their stride in this do-or-die playoff game. And while the Rockies are unknown for playoff success, the history of the San Diego Fathers isn't a happy story either. The Padres have been to the World Series twice, but they've only been to the postseason a grand total of 5 times coming into tonight. Since joining Major League Baseball in 1969, the Padres have mostly been an afterthought in the National League West. Coming into the 2007 MLB season, Bruce Bochy had enough with postseason disappointments, and he left for greener pastures in San Francisco. Some Padres fans felt it was treason, as Bochy led the team to division titles in 2005 and 2006. While they were back-to-back NL West crowns, the 2005 team barely finished with a winning record, and after being swept by the Cardinals in the NLDS, Bruce Bochy's team finished the year under 500 at 82-83. The 2006 squad was much better, but those pesky Cardinals were still too much for San Diego to handle. San Diego had home field advantage for the division series, but Bochy's crew only scored a single run in their first 2 postseason games. The offense was slightly awake when they entered Busch Stadium. A 3-1 win in Game 3 gave San Diego fans new hope, but it was quickly taken away during Game 4. 6 unanswered runs by St. Louis gave the Cardinals the series win and yet another postseason disappointment in Southern California. Bud Black took the 2007 job after Bochy left for the hated Giants. Led by NL Cy Young winner Jake Peavy, the Padres were in first place in the NL West as late as September 3rd. Peavy got the nod for this one-game playoff. It was his turn in the rotation since he hadn't pitched since September 26th. But for whatever reason, the best pitcher in the National League was anything but clutch tonight. 3 straight Rockies got on base to start off the bottom of the first, and after Yorvit Torrealba cranked a bomb to left field, the Rockies led 3-0 after 2 innings of baseball. Starting pitcher Josh Fogg was sent out in the top of the third to preserve the lead, but he simply wasn't up for the task. Peavy helped out his own cause with a leadoff single. Brian Giles found his way to first base with a walk, and after Scott Hairston hit a single to load the bases, Adrian Gonzalez emptied them with a game-changing grand slam. Fogg still couldn't settle down after the grand salami. Khalil Green and Josh Bard both got on base via the hit, forcing Fogg to intentionally walk Jeff Blum to load the bases. Brady Clark then made a solid contact with a ground ball to shortstop, and his speed forced the Rockies to just get the force out at second base. Just like that, it's now a 5-3 lead for Peavy and the Padres.
Matsui didn't get anything on this throw. Blum was all over him. He was a little off balance after he came across the bag to make the throw.
But Peavy just couldn't keep the ball out of the ballpark. The Rockies cut the deficit down to 1 after Todd Helton belted the baseball to right center field and gave his home fans a lucky souvenir. An amazing game so far. It's not even the top of the 4th yet, and we've already seen 3 home runs, including a grand slam. Fogg was able to get a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th inning, but Hurdle wasn't pleased with his pitcher. He gave up 10 fly balls on a night when the wind was clearly blowing out, so he decided to go to his bullpen early. Peavy wasn't much better than Fogg tonight as the Rockies tied up the score in the bottom of the 5th. An early holiday for Rockies fans as Matt Holliday singled in Tulowitzki for a 5-5 tie. Black was still confident in his young fireballer though, so he sent Peavy on the bump for the 6th inning. It was the same old story for Peavy as the Rockies retook the lead. Everybody was seemingly able to hit him tonight. Seth Smith hit the very rare pinch hit triple with 1 out. It was timely hitting all night for Colorado as Kaz Matsui got underneath the ball and delivered a sacrifice fly to center field. Another lead for the Rockies, and this time around the relief pitchers were up for the task. After relieving Fogg, the Rockies bullpen held the Padres scoreless until the top of the 8th. The Padres were able to muster just 2 hits from the 5th inning going into the 8th. Taylor Buchholz led the Rockies bullpen by going 1 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit and threw 12 strikes on 13 pitches. But Brian Fuentes just couldn't hold the lead. After relieving Troy Hawkins with 6 outs to go, Fuentes was a tad bit wild and inaccurate. Blum got the much-needed leadoff single, and although Fuentes got the next 2 batters out, Torrealba couldn't quite handle this 1-2 slider from Fuentes, allowing Blum to reach second base on the dropped 3rd strike wild pitch. On the third pitch of the subsequent at-bat, Giles potentially saved his team's season with a game-tying double to left field.
A high pitch that Giles was just trying to fight off, and he did. Got pretty good wood on it, and maybe that's what fooled Holiday as it sailed over his head.
But Hairston couldn't send Giles home after that. Granted, Tulowitzki's dart from shortstop, Helton's great stretch at first base was excellent defense. Neither team could score again in regulation, so we went to extra innings. The next 3 innings were full of drama as both teams had chances to score. San Diego had runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top of the 10th, but Matt Hergus jammed Giles and got the inning-ending ground out. Colorado had a golden opportunity for a walk-off win in the bottom of the 11th. With Brad Hopp at the plate, Colorado had the game-winning run 180 feet from home, but Joe Thatcher fooled Hopp on an 88-mile-per-hour fastball to end the threat. The Padres had their own runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs in the top of the 12th, but Brian Myro struck out, and Michael Barrett grounded out to keep the score at 6-6. The Rockies went 1-2-3 in the 12th game as the game entered inning number 13. And this was quite possibly the greatest extra inning in professional baseball history. 5 total runs would eventually be scored in this inning. With everything on the line, the offenses for both teams woke up in a huge way. San Diego struck first in the top half. Giles quite possibly had the game of his life by reaching base yet again. This time it was via the leadoff walk. Hairston, who was looking to make up for his anti-RBI single in the 8th inning, came up big with a giant 2-run homer to give the Padres the lead back, their first one since it was 5-4. Julio then gave up a single to Chase Headley, so Clint Hurdle had to call on Ramon Ortiz to limit the damage. Ortiz kept the score at 8-6 with 2 flyouts and a strikeout, but the Padres were now just 3 outs away from their 3rd straight trip to the NLDS. In came Trevor Hoffman for the save. It's hard to believe that Black never used Hoffman prior to the 13th inning, but credit Black for thinking his team would have the lead in extra innings. A future Hall of Famer, Hoffman was on the
to the pregame show presented by Sports Broadcast Solutions alongside Liam Crotty and Kyle Smith. I'm Connor Klingen. We're here with the 13U Lemont Lightning before their first game of the season against the Hitmen. So we're going to introduce you to the Lightning. So what's your name?
My name is Nick Goenda.
Favorite position?
Pitcher.
And your favorite MLB player?
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, a great answer.
My name's Alex Xavier Miranda. My favorite position is pitcher, and my favorite baseball player is Shohei Ohtani.
My name's Joey Fiore. My favorite position is outfield, and my favorite player is Seiya Suzuki.
All right.
My name's Ethan Shakora. My favorite position is third base, and my favorite baseball player is Tim Anderson.
My name's Corey Laga. My favorite position is catcher. My favorite
Big win, Gus here.
and my favorite player is Eli Jimenez.
Hello, my name is Mason Siwick. My favorite position is catcher, and my favorite baseball player is Ronald Acuna Jr.
Hi, my name is William Sham. My favorite position is pitcher, and my favorite baseball player is Javi Baez.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Campione, and my favorite position is outfield, and my favorite player is Chris Bryant.
All right, the Lemont Lightning 13U getting set for their first game of the season. Guys, are you going to win today?
Yes, sir.
All right, who's ready to play baseball?
Me.
All All right. The Lemont Lightning, 13U, set for their first game of the season as they take on the Hitmen.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another production of Sports Broadcast Solutions. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Connor Klingen. And Connor, it's overcast, but thank God there's no rain today.
Yeah, at least we have no rain. Apparently some big storms coming in tomorrow, so good thing that everything held off. Just overcast and blustery. The wind is blowing straight in, so it's going to be difficult to hit the ball out of the ballpark today.
Well, we're in left center field. It's, I don't know, I'd say a decent day for baseball. I wish we were a little warmer, but 55, well, we got some wind, but not too much wind. And let's give you the starting lineups. First for the Lightning. That's brought to you by sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Nate Goenda leading it off. In the 2-hole is Kyle Swanson, 3 Mason Seawack, 4 Will Sham, 5 Ethan Chikora, 6 Corey Laga, 7 Alex Miranda, and we'll get that in for you in a second here. But, you know, you go down the list, Connor, we saw their stats, and Corey Laga, if he comes out of the bullpen today, he had a heck of a fall pitching the ball for the Lemont Lightning.
He absolutely did, and you do have that adjustment. You know, you go from 12U to 13U. Everybody gets that offseason. They get a little bit older. They get a little bit stronger. So this is a chance for these players to prove themselves early in the season. For Lemont, it's their first game of the year, and so you want to keep that momentum going from the fall and hopefully just get that much better after the practice that you had from the winter and the early spring.
Pre-game show, of course, brought to you by sportsbroadcastsolutions.com, and we appreciate you watching the broadcast. If you missed any of the action, we are pre-recording in both 720 and 1080p HD, and we're also live as well, so you can hit that rewind button on YouTube to watch it in 720p. All on-demand content brought to you by SBS and, of course, the Lemont Lightning. Starting lineups, we're going to bring that to you in a minute. For the Illinois Hitmen, they have Game Changer, and for the Lightning, they'll be going with pen and paper stats.
Yeah, the Lightning coming out into the field to start off. So we're going to see the Hitmen at the plate.
Defensive alignment brought to you by SBS. Seawack in left, Sham in center, Picaro in right, Shakur at third, Miranda at short, Fricaro at second, Swanson at first. Laga doing the catching, and on the mound, one of the big 3 for the Lightning will be Goenda.
Yeah, Goenda had a great fall. He's looking to keep that rolling into the spring. Excited to see what he can do to start this one out.
We're going to take a quick 12-second break. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action, SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. You can also text the text line tonight at 330-957-7653, your favorite MLB, high school, or college baseball memory.
Got the White Sox, of course, opening up play today as well, at home at least, taking on the Seattle Mariners.
Going to go with a lefty to start it off for the mighty Hitman, number 7. Inside for a fastball, down and away.
Yeah, we'll see what Goenda goes with. You know, you expect at this level, you rely a lot on the fastball, but you do start to see when you get to 13-year-old, that's when players really start to develop that breaking ball a little bit. So we'll see what Goenda pulls out today, as that one misses high and away.
Not a good way to start. 2-0, obviously, but, you know, you're not always going to throw strikes, and as much as I love Dylan Cease, this is something he struggles with a little bit.
Yes, no, it can be. He looked very good in his first start against the Detroit Tigers, but that's something he's got to work on to get to that next level of hopefully contending to be a Cy Young type candidate year in, year out. Here's the 2-0. That's softly grounded towards third. Bobbled a little bit. The throw to first is in time.
Yeah, you're going to get those jitters in a game like this. Both teams have not been able to play due to the rain. But you know what? As long as you get the outs, obviously the analytics, you know, your range factor, I don't know if we count that at 13U, but that's going to count for a play like that. But in the score sheet, it's a 5-3 put out, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, really nice job there by Shakura getting that ball over there. So Ethan gets the first put out of the season for the Lightning.
Next pitch by Goenda.
This is high and tight.
You'll see that at this level. You saw Swanson go in there to back up his pitcher. You'll see that a lot at 13U.
Yeah, definitely. And you see that when you're at this level, you're never going to match the bond that you have at this level of play. With teammates, everybody's there for each other. And you're obviously trying to play your best, but you could already see just from the pregame that this team gets along really well. They have great team chemistry.
Two 2-1 the count. Next pitch coming up for Goenda. In the dirt for a ball. Oh, they got a strike on that. 2-2.
Well, and I think that's important. You know, at this level, you're going to have a little bit bigger of a strike zone.
2-2 the count. Pitch by Goenda. High and inside for ball 3. 3-2 Connor. I think, you know, I think he's going to try to test him with a fastball. You obviously don't want a juicy fastball right down the middle, but you definitely do not want to walk this batter to put one on, one out.
Here's the pitch. That misses inside, and that's ball 4. So the Hitmen have their first base runner of the game.
1 on, 1 out, and for the Hitman, anything on the outside part, you're going to want to drive to right field. Now, at this level, you're going to see the right fielder cheat in, so you got to be careful about that if you're the third base coach sending your runner from first. A lot of chess game going to happen in this opening game.
Yeah, and you see a throw over to first there by Goenda. Nice shot by the first baseman, Kyle Swanson, just making sure to scoop that ball up. Didn't get by him.
In there for a strike. See if he goes with the changeup on the inner part on this pitch. Off the glove, but just did not get a lot away from the catcher, and runner stays at first base. Next pitch and a pickoff play to first, safely in there.
Yeah, they've thrown over there a couple of times. Just making sure that they're keeping him honest. As Gwenda comes set. That's in there at the top of the zone. You know, you're seeing that more, Kyle, back in the day. You know, they used to tell pitchers, keep the ball down low, induce ground balls, but more and more, you're seeing pitchers attack the top of the zone, especially with velocity. As this is popped up foul back behind home plate.
Yeah, as these pitchers get older, they're going to want to raise the ladder. So you throw one right at the knees, right? Then you go a little bit rib low on the pitch. Then on 0-2, you see if you can get it below the neck and see if you swing it, and that's what you're going to have to learn as you get older playing baseball.
A 2-strike count here. Gwenda with another throw over to first. And back in time. When it comes set, the pitch, the runner goes. It's in there for a strike. The throw down to second, not in time. So a stolen base for the Hitman, but that was strike 3 for out number 2.
So you sacrifice the runner in scoring position for the out and for the Hitman. You always think, well, it's only the first inning. We want to get this runner home, but it's not going to hurt if we don't get in. Well, you never know. In baseball, sometimes you think it's going to be a 5-5 game in the 7th, and you know, the 2005 Sox started the year 1-0 win, the end of the year with a 1-0 win. You never know what's going to happen in a baseball game as it's a balk on the pitcher. No balk warnings at 13U, and that's what the home plate umpire's saying. Don't worry about the batter. Until I grant time, you can pitch, and the batter has to learn to stop doing that because with the clock now at the MLB level, you can't really do that as a hitter.
Exactly. Yeah, and you have to be careful, you know, with your movements as a starting pitcher. Try to avoid, you have a runner at third now. Any pitch in the dirt, have to be careful with that if you're Gwenda.
Gwenda comes set and the pitch. Might have been
swing and a miss there.
I'm gonna have you call it, Connor. It might have been a foul tip, or maybe the catcher got in the way of that. I did hear the catcher's mitt. It's hard to tell, though, if it was on the follow-through or if it was on the swing. The runner would not score, though. You would just get first base on catcher's interference.
And this is
13U baseball, too. He's by himself, no help.
Right, and this is Gavin S. at the plate for the Hitmen.
0-2. For Gwenda, if he wants to go with the breaking ball, this is a great time to do it. And with the short backstop, you have faith in your catcher as well.
Swing and a miss on the breaking ball for strike 3. So Gwenda works out of trouble to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first. No score between the Hitmen and the Lightning.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action here in beautiful Bambrick Park in Lemont. The Lemont Lightning, of course, the home team. Kyle Smith alongside Liam Karate and Connor Klingen. Bob Vilsaway, executive producer, in the studio tonight. And Hitmen had their chances, Connor, but, you know, you just can't strand runners like that. It's early on, but still, you had their chances. They had their cleanup hitter at the plate, just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and, you know, it's early in the season, obviously, so, you know, you find when you have colder temperatures, blustery days, it's a little bit harder to produce the offense than when you get those temperatures in the 80s and the 90s later in the season.
Men to look out for the Hitmen when they come back to the plate. Christian Nicholas, the only hitter in the fall to hit at 439. Actually, he hit 439 in the spring last season.
And Nate Gowenda will lead it off, the man we saw on the mound, and he hits a bloop into right field. That will drop, not for a hit, though, as there's a great play out in right field to beat Gowenda to first. And that can definitely happen at this level of baseball. You think it's a base hit, but because he's close in at right field, makes for an out at first base.
You know, it has happened at the major league level, the 9-3 putout. I can't remember the last time it happened, but man, it's fun to watch when it happens at the major league level.
So now we'll see Kyle Swanson batting from the left side.
Johnson likes to use that changeup, especially down and away and behind in the count.
Dimitri Johnson, the right-hander, number 1 for the Hitmen, working out of the windup against Kyle Swanson. As Swanson hits a line drive foul to the third base side there, just behind the Hitmen dugout. So 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That misses inside, evens up the count at 2-2 with 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning.
What's the old saying? You got to wear that, kid. It's all right. It's just off the toe. It's not going to hurt. We got ice.
2-2. Oh. Just missed, and that's one that Johnson thought may have been strike 3. It runs to a full count.
Yeah. Remember, it's not a major league strike zone. It's a baseball on each side of the plate. That was pretty close to strike 3.
Payoff pitch. Upstairs for ball 4. So Swanson will take first base with a walk.
Oh, looks like it's 3-2.
Oh, check
I was
that.
wrong. 3-2 now.
So now the payoff pitch. That misses for ball 4. So Swanson aboard at first base with 1 away. And Mason Seaweck will step up.
See if they try to first and third him. Right fielder's got a gun. He's playing more to the center field side, though, so anything down the line could score the runner.
Big swing and a miss there from Seawick. Good pitch there from Johnson. Swanson at first base. He gets back in time on the pickoff attempt from Johnson. That bounces in. Count at 1-1.
Just a final reminder, the text line's still open. It'll be open till the 5th inning. Your favorite MLB, college, or high school memory, 330-957-7653.
They were trying the hit and run and a catch at third base, an opportunity for a double play back at first. Not quite in time.
That's the problem with the double play. Now, on a straight steal, that could happen as well. But if the sign is on for a straight steal, batter will usually not swing unless it's out of the strike zone. So that's why you kind of see the hit and run away from the MLB level. It's more analytically driven. Outs are really important, and that time they get burned on the hit and run.
So that brings up Will Schwam with 2 down here in the first. Righty-righty matchup between Schwam and Johnson. Nice pitch right there. Good location. As Johnson gives a long look in. Now the pitch. Schwam pops this up to the right side, and that is out of play.
0-2, probably going to see a fastball in the inner part. See if he can jam him. Either going to be a strikeout or a little nubber back to the pitcher.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the tag applied to end the inning. So Johnson works around that walk that he issued. We'll head to the top of the second. No score between the Lightning and the Hitmen.
We zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Top of the second inning, Kyle Smith alongside Connor Klingon. Nothing, and both pitchers doing well. The defense was there. They almost got the double play on the hit and run.
Yeah, that was an impressive effort there by Will Tomey for the Hitmen-Black, making that catch over at third base and then throwing over to first. See if Gavin Sauter can get something going leading off this inning for the Hitmen.
Outfield at medium depth with the wind blowing out like this. Chance for it to go out of the ballpark, short fence as well.
Cut on and miss by Sauter.
Wind really starting to pick up. So outfielders are going to have to get on their horse. Anything up in the air tonight on a fly ball.
0-1. That's tap foul behind home plate.
Yeah, it looks like Johnson's going to have to choke up a little bit. He's a little bit late. A little bit too much on the front stride. A little bit less on the front stride. Wait back, choke up, and try to hit something to the opposite field.
Pitch to Johnson, and that's behind him.
Now that you're in the middle of the order, I know I've been saying you got to wear that, kid. Usually you want your leadoff and two-hole hitter, maybe to take one for the team. Not a big bat like Johnson. You want him swinging away, and good job getting away out of that pitch.
1-2. Johnson grounds it foul, third base side, over near the Hitmen dugout. Digging the Hitmen uniforms, kind of that, almost like the Royals throwback a little bit, or a Royals alternate.
Yeah, they're definitely fun to watch, the Hitman jerseys.
1-2, that's in the dirt.
That was a dirty pitch. Good decision on 1 and 2. I don't know if you ever heard the famous quote from Greg Maddux about what I throw on 0-2. I just battle and I just throw. And that's a good thing to do because you don't have to be too cute when you're heading the count 0-2 and 1-2.
2-2. And Johnson stays alive. Good defensive swing there from Dimitri.
It looks like he's late on the fastball. I would rear back and fire for an outside corner fastball. And with it dying on the grass like it is, anything to right field could be a 9-3 putout. So even if he gets the base hit on that fastball in the outside corner, you still could get the 9-3 putout.
Here's the pitch. High fly ball. Shallow right field. And it drops in for a hit.
Not going to be too harsh, but that was way too high to not be caught. And you got to... Outfield play is harder than it looks. And basically what you're trying to do in the outfield, you hear it off the bat, crack of the bat, or the ping of the bat for aluminum. And what you're trying to do is read it, and you can always go back, right? So one step back, and when it's that shallow like that, knowing it's going to die from the wind, come in and make the catch.
Yeah, that's a really... The wind makes it much more challenging out there for Joey Fiore. With the kind of day that it is, it's going to be very tough to judge fly balls. As Gavin Garganto Steps in, runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw down to second, not in time. So a stolen base for Johnson.
In a nothing game like this, well, what's the old rule? You don't want to make the first or third out at third base, unwritten rule of baseball, but the way he's getting jumps off the pitcher, I like Johnson to maybe think about stealing third, depending on what kind of leadoff he can get.
Man on second, nobody out. The pitch to Garganto. That got by catcher briefly. But Corey Laga able to recover there in time, so Johnson stays at second.
Yeah, like I said, short backstop. Got to be careful. Probably not a lot of steal homes tonight unless it takes that weird hop off the fence.
Here's the pitch. Outside.
Three and 0, most likely green light, unless it's right down Broadway.
You mean the red light?
Oh, what did I say? Green light?
Well, he's swinging away.
Yeah, that wasn't the pitch you want to swing on at that 3-0. Especially something in the dirt. Didn't look like a changeup. Usually fastballs aren't like that. Give him the credit, though. Threw a changeup on 3-0. Yeah, creativity at its finest.
Yeah, courageous, too, there from Gwenda. Confident he was able to locate it. And now a swing and a miss, and that was actually strike three. So that was a 3-1 pitch that he chased there in the dirt. But that's the first out, an important one for Gwenda.
You look at the pitching stats. They're brought to you by Game Changer as well as SportsBroadcastSolutions.com. We talked a lot about Laga. Look at that nasty changeup in the dirt like that. Johnson going to try to steal, and he will get in there safely.
Dimitri Johnson is second stolen base of the inning now.
Yeah, that's not a pass ball. It did go off the glove, but it was a tough to handle changeup. So I'm not going to give him pass ball like that. Usually only give pass ball if it goes straight to the backstop. And Johnson has good speed anyway, so that's it's a delayed steal.
We'll see what Peter Carter can do. One out, man at third. So you'd even take the productive out here. Infield playing in for the Lightning.
Yeah, a day like this, and you never trust the weather, man. It looks like it's not going to rain, but it's starting to get a little darker. You never know. It's 4 innings for an official game, and in travel ball, you play continuation if you need to make up the game. So every run matters in a game like this.
That's over the head of Carter.
And Johnson also has to be careful because his run matters, but you can't just, get thrown out on a 1-2 put-out. So you got to be careful.
It's not a hugely deep backstop as some of the ones you see at some fields around the Chicagoland area, as that's in there for a strike.
But you know why that was a strike? Well, the umpire missed it. But also, great frame by the catcher. Sometimes, and I used to do this too as a catcher, I would cheat up. I'd get the butt up. Umpire can't see the strike zone. When you stay down and place the ball, that's how you frame it.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Another strikeout for Gwenda. And an important one there to get the second out of this inning with the runner at third. Now the infield comes in here. We'll see if the Lightning doesn't look like they're going to make a change. I think that's more of a pep talk, get your pitcher fired up to get this third out and get through 2 scoreless.
For sure, and also, the more the hitter has to think about it, you always think it's the pressure's on the pitcher. Not always, especially when a pitcher has back-to-back strikeouts like Gwenda has. Now the hitter's got to think about it. Now he's like, man, we had a runner at third and 1 out. Now I got to get him in, or it's still nothing going into the bottom of the second.
Reed Staub with a swing and a miss on the fastball from Gwenda.
So sometimes, calling time, it's about changing the rhythm as much as it is talking to your pitcher.
0-1. Cut on and miss. 0-2 the count. Gwenda just 1 pitch away from striking out 3 straight hitters.
Got to choke up. You got to find a way to make contact. Cannot go down swinging or looking here.
0-2, that's outside. Notice something smart from the Lemont outfield, rather. They came charging in with the 0-2. They understand here that Staub's trying to protect defensive swing. They don't want to allow one of those bloop singles that Johnson started the inning with.
For sure, and with the win, we saw it in right field. That's in there for, he swung at it.
1-2 dropped in for strike 3, so what a job by Gowenda to strike out 3 straight. We head to the bottom of the second, no score between the Hitmen and the Lemont Lightning.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Bottom of the second, no score. For people that like quick games, this is for you. If you like home run derbies, we're not quite there yet.
Kyle, the first rule of baseball is you never talk about a game being quick, because knowing the game of baseball, it can slow to a halt at any time.
Just like you never say it's a beautiful day, then it rains 5 minutes later.
Right, exactly. We're going to see Ethan Shakora lead it off for Lemont against Dimitri Johnson, who picked up a couple of stolen bases.
Yep.
Although he was stranded at third base. Great job by Gowenda in the top half of that inning, getting 3 straight strikeouts.
Yeah, the stuff is moving, especially the rotation on the ball. It looks like it's going to be a strike, and then that late push from the changeup is pushing it out of the strike zone, and it's so hard to lay off when you're expecting fastball and it just dies like that.
So here is Shakora, 5-hitter in this Lemont lineup. First pitch in there for a strike from Dimitri Johnson.
See if he goes with a fastball in the outer part.
That missed inside. The count at 1-1 here to Shakora. Lemont hoping to start their season at 1-0. They were supposed to play on Sunday. Weather was an issue there. As that misses outside, the count now at 2-1.
2-1 the count, and ahead in the count like this, if it's on the inner part and down the middle, swing. If it's on the outer part, see if it's going to be a ball.
2-1. That's in the dirt, so a favorable count here for Shakora. He's ahead 3-1 against Dimitri Johnson, the right-hander for the Hitmen. 3-1 count, have to be selective here. But not too selective like the 3-0, and here's the pitch. And that's way outside for ball 4. So Shakora reaches with a walk. And that'll bring up Corey Laga, who started this game at catcher for the Lightning. He's made a couple of nice plays back there behind the plate.
He sure has, and Laga, a great athlete. He pitches a lot on this team. He might be the X factor for a victory today for the Lightning.
And that gets by the catcher Staub, and heading into second base is Shakora.
Decision time for Johnson. That is a big runner, obviously, but you don't want to get out of rhythm. You don't want to get off your pace, so to speak. So you still want to get the out here, but you have to be careful the runner at second as well.
Cut out and miss. High fastball. Laga chased it.
Good off-speed pitch. 2-1. I think you just rear back and fire. Anything that's not down the middle. I like the way that Johnson is changing speeds. I think it'll be a swing and miss.
Here's the pitch. That's upstairs.
A walk isn't the worst thing here because in a close game like this, you have force at first, second, and third. You don't want to walk him, but a juicy fastball right down Broadway, that could be a 2-run homer.
Here's the pitch. That's in there, and that's a good pitch. Because it was right there on the inner half, not right down the middle like you were talking about. Now it runs to a full count.
That's one that Laga usually drives, though. I just don't think he was expecting it. I think he was looking for something at the knees or at the belt.
Shakura with a sizable lead at second. Laga takes ball 4 high.
Like
check that, it was ball 3.
Yeah, I'm off. It's hard because
it
one
is
team's
tough.
using Game Changer, one team isn't. I'm still at fault now.
No worries. And we're out here in center field, so a little bit difficult to see the umpire as well. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Laga down on strikes, and that's a key out for Dimitri Johnson.
1 on, 1 out, and with the outfield playing shallow, you can consider trying to nail him at the plate. The problem is the grass is a little bit wet, so it is going to die on the grass. So you have to be careful if you're going to try to nail him home. It's got to be a clean 2-hopper, and then you crow hop it to the plate.
Alex Miranda stepping in, and the first pitch is outside to him. Boy, this wind has really picked up.
Yeah, this is going to be the game right now. So, but these are the conditions. It's not cold. It's just windy. You got to be aware of that when you're in the outfield today.
1-0 is fouled to the right side, out of play.
1-1, runner at second. If I'm Johnson, don't change anything. Don't get too cute with it. They're having trouble matching your fastball. Just rear back and fire.
Here is the 1-1, runner goes, swing and a miss. No time there for the catcher, Staub. So Shakura with the stolen base. So now a runner at third for the Lightning with just 1 out here in this bottom of the second.
Nobody else on base, so obviously fly ball to the outfield, you're shooting him regardless unless you have to backtrack to the warning track.
The pitch to Miranda, that misses low and away.
Close game like this, if you can get a really good lead and a running finish on your secondary, anything past the catcher, even with the short backstop, game like this, you never know if you're going to get this chance again. Maybe think about it at third base if you're the Lightning.
Pitch to Miranda, that's fouled back to the backstop.
Good fight. Sometimes in baseball, you got to fight at the plate. Just got a piece of it. You know, the old song, staying alive, staying alive. That's what he's doing right there. And see if he can drill it to right field, maybe center field if it's right down the belt to try to shoot the box for the go-ahead RBI.
Infield in. Fouled back.
Got to have a little bit more discipline at the plate like that. It was a 4-seam fastball, but that's a lot of what these pitchers throw. You're not going to see a lot of sliders at this age. You got to know how to read that 4-seam fastball a little bit better. It would have been ball 3 instead, 2-2.
Miranda trying to stay alive. Here's the pitch. Grounded towards short, and that gets by the shortstop, so Shakura comes in to score. That's all you need to do there. Just make contact. You never know what's going to happen if you put the ball in play, and it works out there for Miranda as the Lightning lead 1-0.
Darn if you do, darn if you don't situation. If you have the infield in, any duck snort scores a run anyway. So if he was in like that, he might have had a chance at the plate, but I think he was just so frustrated. Oh, man, even if I get him at first, it's still a 1-0 game, and I think because he took his eye off the ball, that's why it went under the legs like that.
Here is Tony Fricaro. One-0 pitch. That's foul tipped into the glove. Count even at 1-1 with Miranda aboard at first base. And the Lightning ahead 1-0. Throw over to first, and Miranda back in time.
Yep, you just want to keep him close. It's always easier to steal on a righty than a lefty, and that's why as these kids get older, they're going to work on that slide step. Quick to the plate, but when you work on the slide step, sometimes it can impact your pitching because you're so used to the leg kick at the younger levels.
That pitch misses outside from Johnson. See the second baseman, Marty Moonen, coming in, issuing some encouragement to Johnson. That pitch misses high and tight. The runner goes, throw down to second. They got him.
Yeah, missed it. He got under the tag, but that's one-man mechanics for you.
Well, we certainly have a different angle out here in center field.
I mean, that's the mechanic, though, because when you have one man behind the plate, ball beats him, he's usually out. You got to have a lot of confidence when you're behind the plate, and you can't run out because you can't make a call on the run. That's what's kind of a misconception of one-man mechanics.
That was a great throw, though, from Staub,
sure.
Even if Miranda may have been under the tag there.
Oh, he was. But, I mean, it's and if the umpire had a chance to change it over, he would call him safe. But, I mean, that's the problem, and I get it. Umpires are expensive, and unfortunately, because of the pandemic, it's so hard to find them. So even if you could afford 2 umpires, it's hard to find them, especially for a 5:15 start. But the mechanic is you can't make a call on the run because your head's bobbing up and down, so you can't see the play develop.
As Fricaro reached with a walk. So now it's Nick Campione. The Lightning ahead 1-0 as Ethan Shakora came in to score earlier in this second. As that pitch is in the dirt, Staub with a throw down to first, and Fricaro back in time.
Good job by the catcher, and then if you have confidence in your right fielder, the other thing is, too, even if you don't have that much confidence in your right fielder, the catcher knows it's going to die on the grass. So any overthrow, unless that thing's going 95 miles an hour off the catcher's arm, it's going to die on the grass. So even if it gets past the first baseman, hard chance for the runner to get into second.
1-1 dots the outside corner. Count is at 1-2. So Dimitri Johnson trying to work out of trouble. He's at 40 pitches here in the second inning.
See if he goes with that breaking ball down and away.
Here's the pitch. It was in the dirt. Staub with another throw down to first. And Fricaro once again back in time.
And this is the tough part about coaches, because it's 3-inning limit for 13U, no more than 7 a week. Do I pitch him all 3 today? Every game matters, especially opening day. Everybody wants to win opening day, right? It's how you start your season. You have to count not just pitches, how many pressure pitches, how many breaking ball pitches.
Campione with a little flare. That's a fair ball. And that will go for a base hit. Check that, it's foul.
Yeah, it's a hitting spirit.
Campione was all the way to first base, so he was confident that, but eventually the home plate umpire ruled that ball was foul. Tough to tell from our angle,
oh, yeah,
but pretty clearly foul.
Yeah, that's one. Even when you have a 4-man crew, that's always the home plate umpire's call. Well, 4-man crew, the first plate umpire makes it, but a 2-man crew, the home plate umpire always makes that call regardless because he can see the lines much better than the base umpire.
As that missed high and inside, so it's now a full count, 2 outs. Bottom of the second with Lemont ahead 1-0. Fricaro at first base.
Don't be fooled on the off speed. Might have been a balk too, by the way.
Payoff pitch, popped up foul, out of play.
If you're wondering why that might have been a balk, you have to come up to a complete stop. It's not 1/1000. That's the misconception of the rule. It's got to be a complete stop from his normal motion. And the umpire said something to the pitcher. He might have said, "I missed it, but you might have balked."
Got to be careful with that.
For sure. I mean, there's no more balk warnings. It's 13U, so any balk can change the complexion of the game.
Runner going on the 3-2 count, and that was ball 4, so it doesn't matter.
But that's good on the runner. If they forget, just keep running.
Absolutely.
Because if the catcher throws it through, center fielder's not there to back up, you're at third base. Just keep running.
So Campione reaches with a walk.
All right, decision time, Connor. If I'm the outfield, I think I'm still shooting them to the plate. I know that runners could get into second and third, and then you're really in trouble. But a game like this, it's hard to hit off Gowenda. They have Laga in the bullpen if they need to use them. This could be one of those 2-0, 3-1 games. I think you might have to shoot him at the plate if it's hit to the outfield.
And it looks like that will be it for Dimitri Johnson. He is responsible for the runners at first and second, but he will depart, so a new pitcher coming on for the Hitmen.
And we will take a break. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks.
But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Back to the action, runners at first and second. This is the pressure cooker for the men in blue, the Hitmen. They haven't been hitting, though, and if they give up another hit, the Hitmen better start hitting because they'd be down 2-0, and the way that the Lightning are pitching, that might be all the Lightning need on the scoreboard to get the win.
And it's now Will Thome who's entering the game. Another right-hander. You don't see too many left-handers at this level.
Just hard to recruit for. There's so many different sports.
There's not many lefties out there. I mean,
well, yeah. But I mean, it's so hard to recruit for baseball players now because now there's lacrosse, and now we have middle school rugby, and we've got soccer and cricket. Well, not really cricket, but dodgeball. And there's so many different sports for kids to play now. It's not just sandlot ball and what travel ball started up in the late 90s. Everybody plays travel ball still, but there's lacrosse now and soccer, and now we got spring hockey, travel hockey. If you really want to, you can play into May, 3-on-3 pond hockey. There's so many different sports for kids now. It's so hard to find lefties on the mound.
A lot of options out there now. Here's Anthony Pecoraro for Lemont against Thome. Good first pitch fastball from Will.
Got to be aggressive. I know that you want to be the hero and get the base hit and you work the count, but you're never going to see a pitch better than that. Sometimes just be aggressive and swing on the first pitch.
0-1. Foul to the right side.
Yeah, having some just going to say he was having some location issues, but luckily the batter's a little bit late. Don't want to throw it there again. I doubt he's going to be late 3 times with one right down the middle.
So very quickly the count at 0-2. It'd be a win here for the Hitmen if they can get out of this inning allowing just 1 run. Thome with a look back towards second, the 0-2 pitch. That misses outside.
Great pitch. The catcher maybe could have framed that a little bit better, but knowing that you can't allow both runners into scoring position on a pass ball, I understand why he didn't try to frame it. You'll move those knees a little bit more to frame it, place the mid, but great pitch on 0-2.
Now the 1-2. That's upstairs. Count now at 2-2. Good job by Pecoraro to battle back in this at-bat.
2-2. He struggled with location. I think if you're the catcher, you tell him to rear back and fire, throw the cheese on the inner part.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3. What a pitch from Will Thome to work out of trouble. Lemont strikes first, though. The Lightning ahead 1-0 as we head to the third here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action in beautiful Bambrick Park. We don't have any sunshine, but that's all right. You don't always need vitamin K and vitamin D. Connor, it's always a pleasure having you alongside with me.
Well, Kyle, great to be back here and working with you once again. It's good to see baseball back, in season, travel baseball going, and hopefully the weather does turn around a little bit for all these teams. I imagine it was pretty tough to get practice time in the last couple of weeks. We were basically having an extended winter into the month of April here.
Yeah, there's two types of fall in Chicago. Cold and hope it doesn't snow.
Marty Moonen will lead it off against Gowenda here in the top of the third inning with Lemont ahead 1-0. So Gowenda working into a third inning. He hasn't allowed a run yet, as this is popped up to the right side out of play. Count at 0-2 very quickly on Moonen.
Don't have to overthink it. Just throw the cheese. Have him swing and miss. Any place is good on the plate. Just try to avoid right down the middle.
Gowenda out of the windup and the pitch. That's grounded to the right side of the infield. Could be trouble, but the second baseman, Tony Fricaro, up with it quickly for the first out.
You always think, first base, it's just a power hitting position. You don't have to be good defensively. You don't have to have a good baseball IQ. That's nonsense. First base could have had that ball, right? Swanson's like, no, Fricaro, you take it so the pitcher doesn't have to take the bag. First base, it's not the toughest position, but it's harder than you think.
As Will Thome steps in, so we have pitcher against pitcher now. Thome did a nice job getting that strikeout to end the bottom of the second, keep it a one-run game. He whiffs at this one, and he's behind in the count 0-2, so Gowenda doing a really nice job here in the third, getting ahead.
0-2, just do what you did last time. He had that good fastball in the inner part, jammed him. Might go with the same pitch again here.
Here is the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, pulled the string on him.
What else can you say, but that's just a picture-perfect pitch. 0-2, he's feeling the confidence. He got him on the two fastballs. Don't always throw the changeup. You got to be creative, but good job pulling the string for the strike three.
Nicely done there by Gowenda.
Not much a catcher could do on that to frame it. You move the knees, possibly, but that was almost going to hit the batter, so no way you can frame that on 0-0.
First pitch miss inside to Taylor Mazer, and that's upstairs, so the count now at 2-0 as the winds continue to pick up here in Lemont.
Yeah, the wind's picking up, ball's dying on the grass, any base hit.
Getting worried the fence is going to blow over here.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's not the most stable fence. They did stake it down before the game, but
2-0 is downstairs.
3-0, I would just walk him out, or at least throw a pitch that it's going to be hard for him to hit. It's either going to be ball four, or he's going to swing and miss at it to become 3-1.
3-0, that misses. 4-4.
Yeah, that's a good decision. Got to know the score. You haven't had a lot offensively, and the Hitmen haven't been able to do much hitting the ball. Don't give them something right in their wheelhouse that they can drive for a double or possibly a triple.
So Mazer reaches with a walk. That brings up Owen Marshall. First pitch to him is popped up to the right side, out of play.
You know, if you're wondering why that happens when they get tied up like that in the inner part and it's a foul ball to the first base side, the reason that happens is sometimes it's hard to get those hands in and you overthink it. Sometimes hitting an inside fastball is just as hard as hitting that outside fastball.
0-1. And it looks like we had time called. May have been another balk there.
It's hard to know the rhythm of this umpire, and that's what the pitcher has to deal with. It's not about when the batter calls for time. It's what the umpire allows or disallows. And when umpires always grant time, that becomes a troublesome situation for really good umpires that are licensed and patched for the IHSA and NCAA that never grant time. But pitchers at this level are not used to that because they've had little league umpires that always grant time to the batter. Unfortunately, though, it is a balk. It doesn't matter when the batter calls time. It's when the umpire calls time, and that time Umpire didn't call time. Balk, runner at second base.
So Mazer reaches second base, tying run in scoring position for the Hitmen. 0-1 the count with 2 down. As this is grounded sharply through the right side into right field, but a chance at first base. They got him. Now the throw to the plate in time.
My goodness.
Wow, what a play.
If you're scoring at home, that's 9-3-2. You won't see that at the major league level. Wow, what a play, what a tag at the plate, and the Hitman can't believe it. An unbelievable double play as we go to break here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
What a job. Precaro.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
Bottom of the third inning, the Lemont Lightning ahead 1-0, and what a way to end the top of the third. A throw from right field to first base to get the first out, and they nail the runner at home for a double play. You don't see that every day.
The talent and the athleticism in baseball compared to when we used to play, Connor, it's just night and day. I mean, I never saw that when I played. 9-3-2, we get the out at first, and my gosh, the throw to home, it's a perfect dart on the tag. You know, there's no more blocking. You still have to, give the runner the plate, but caught it, then made the tag. My goodness, what a double play to end the inning.
Pecoraro to Swanson to Lago. What a job. 9-3-2 on the double play to end the inning. Joey Fiore will lead it off for the Lightning against Will Thome. And he foul tipped that one in and out of the catcher's glove.
Well, we hope so. If not, some of the coaches like, you got to squeeze that by the plate.
0-1. Wave and a miss.
All right, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Looks like it was a foul tip because he squeezed that very well. 0-2. Last reminder, text line's open, 330-957-7653.
Reed Staub back there, the 0-2. Strike 3.
Not sure what he was waiting for on that one. And maybe he was thinking a high fastball. And that's why I always bring up the Greg Maddux quote. You don't have to always throw your best pitch on 0-2. You just have to throw the pitch you're most confident in, and they haven't been able to hit. Fastball's even right down the middle.
So that brings up Nate Gawenda back to the top of the order for the Lightning with one away in this bottom of the third.
It's been a really fun game. The only run that scored is because the infield wasn't in. Even with the air, he wouldn't have been able to get him out at the plate anyways because the infield was back. So that's the game. It's been really exciting. It's been really quick. And for people that love 1-0 games, this has been the game for you.
0-1 the count. Check that 1-1 the count to Gawenda as that's in the dirt. Gawenda was called out on a 9-3 putout his first time up. He blooped a ball into right field, but shallow right. He was thrown out at first. Swing and a miss at that high fastball from Thome.
If you're wondering why that happens sometimes in Little League and 13U, the old adage of baseball is you put your best arm in right field. And if you do that quick crow hop in the throw, you got your best arm in right. That's why it's the 9-3 putout.
2-2. Well high, and it runs to a full count. But give Nate a lot of credit for what he did on the mound for 3 innings, holding the Hitmen scoreless, and he's got an opportunity here with the full count against Thome.
3-2. Expect a fastball, but make sure you keep that weight back in case of a changeup.
Here's the pitch.
I don't like
strike 3.
I don't mind the strike. It's just it's so late.
A little bit of a late call.
Yeah, you kind of have to go with your original call. That's what umpiring is even if you missed it, you have to go with your original call. Never say strike ball. I've done it maybe twice in my life. Never ball strike. Never strike ball. You just go with your first one, even if you miss it. It's always worse when you change your call late.
Here's Kyle Swanson, the 2-hitter in the lineup for Lemont. You have 11 hitters in the lineup and travel ball here for Lemont.
You know, we should do that at the major league level. Let's get these guys off the bench to hit more.
Hey, let's get Andrew Vaughn batting every day, right? Here's the 1-0, and that's upstairs. You know, actually, the other day I was doing a UIC baseball game, and believe it or not, Division I baseball, they had an issue with the lineup.
Did they?
They had put an initial order, changed it at the last minute, so the first 2 times, as that pitch is swung on and missed, the first 2 times they came up to bat, they batted 1 order. The 3rd time, finally the head coach noticed it, had to tell the umpire, and they let it slide, surprisingly, but they really batted out of order from about the 6th inning on.
Good frame, just missed. You know, both of these catchers have been impressive. We talked about that double play. Both catchers are moving those knees and just placing it with the mitt. Not doing that old moving the mitt to the right, moving it to the left, putting it down. Just placing the ball with the mitt.
Here's a 3-1 to Swanson. That's high for ball 4.
You know, you mentioned Andrew Vaughn. Did you know that the White Sox have thought about trading him for a pitcher with the Oakland Athletics?
Yeah, I'm not in favor of that.
Well, neither was Rick Hahn because he denied the denied the rumor.
No, I think Andrew Vaughn is going to have a very long career, and I think you have to realize that Jose Abreu is getting up there in age. That's your first baseman of the future. As Mason Sywick steps in.
You always got to be careful, though. There was a guy, what was that guy's name that the Brewers traded to the Indians, well, the Guardians now, for CC Sabathia. I think it was like Joey Laporta, Matt Laporta.
Oh, yeah.
He never panned out. You never know.
Vaughn's showing a little bit,
yeah,
though.
for sure.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, the throw down to second, not in time, so a stolen base for Gowenda.
Yeah, good read. The only thing the catcher's got to work on, the pop time has been pretty good. It's just a little bit better location on the ball. That might also be the wind. The wind's blowing a little bit to the left, blowing a little bit to the west today. But other than that, the catching's been phenomenal today.
Well, check that, Swanson with the stolen base.
You blew it.
It happens from time to time. We got papers blowing all over the place. It's tough on a windy day.
It's not
You're
great.
not in a press box, you know?
Yeah, the press box are for amateurs. These are the real broadcasters today.
2-1 is fouled back. Sywick staying alive.
See if he can drill one to left field. It's been interesting. We've seen some inside fastballs today. It's been hard for them to extend the hands and drill it into left field.
Here's 2-2. Popped up. Back behind home plate and out of play.
Hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast. As always, if there's something wrong with it, just chat on YouTube. We'll get it fixed for you. But we cannot fix Connor's voice, unfortunately. You're going to have to deal with them. You're great. Yeah, I'm all right, but you're great, Connor.
I don't know about that. Here's the 2-2. That misses upstairs, so it runs to a full count to Sywick.
One of our favorite players was on the air for the White Sox broadcast today.
And who was that?
Bo Jackson.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, a legend, absolutely.
My dad was at the game. He hit the homer to win the 1993 AL West division.
Payoff pitch, misses outside. The runner goes, throw to third, not in time. That squirts into left field. But Swanson will stay at third base, so runners at the corners for the Lightning.
Good job on the secondary. Good job reading it, but get down, man. If you don't have to slide, you have to avoid the tag. But when you go right into the fielder like that, you're making the umpire's job a lot harder.
Good opportunity for the cleanup hitter, Will Schwam.
It is really picking up with this wind.
And a pinch runner for the Lightning.
Might be a courtesy runner. since we play continuous pitcher and catcher last 2 outs.
And you've got Sywick heading to the bench.
Speed up rule, especially no lights today. But we don't really have to worry about it so much. Knock on wood, we could see a grand slam and then the lights become an issue. But
runner immediately goes. They throw to short, and that may have been one of those first to third plays there. They're going to allow that runner to get to second, but they were hoping that Swanson would head home. He stayed, wisely so.
Yep, absolutely. The catching in terms of pop time and throwing at second has been a little bit off with the accuracy. I like the call there.
Swing and a miss from Sham.
And if you're wondering why that's never done at the major league level, it's because all of these players at the major league level, they used to be pitchers or catchers. So even the shortstop, third base, second base, they could throw at 90. Not all of them, but some of them.
They've all got an arm.
They used to be pitchers in high school and even college.
0-1. That's upstairs.
What's his name? The closer for the Dodgers.
Well, it's now Craig Kimbrell. It was Kenley Jansen.
Oh, did they trade him?
They trade him to the Braves.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that. Anyways, well, Jansen used to be a catcher.
As the 1-1's inside.
And, I just bring that up because these guys change positions because they're so athletic. Rick Ankiel used to be a pitcher, then he moved to the outfield. The first and third plays just don't work at the major league level because everybody can throw it.
That's a huge advantage. A travel team, if you can really get those plays down, can make a big difference in your season as there's ball 4. So bases loaded for the Lightning and Ethan Shakora.
Not a bad idea. Runners at second and third. The count was 3-1. You don't want anything in his wheelhouse. You threw it outside, you just missed. But now you got to force at every base. So a little number to the pitcher. If you want, you could underhand it to the catcher, although that's kind of an unwritten rule of baseball. With 2 outs, you always go to first regardless of where the ball's hit to the pitcher. But at this age level, sometimes they throw it to the plate for the force out. Force out at any base. You don't play double play depth, obviously, with 2 outs. But if you want your second baseman and shortstop to cheat to the bag a step or two, you can definitely think about doing that.
Another pinch runner there for the Lightning. Shakora at the plate. He scored the lone run of this ball game. Walked and came around to score in the second. And a bases loaded opportunity for him. Here's the pitch. Cut on and miss. High fastball there. Shakora unable to catch up to it. Oh, 1. That misses down low. Count evens up at 1-1 to Shakora. Kyle, this really feels like a critical moment of this game. Bases loaded, 1-run game right now, but a chance to break it open for the Lightning.
Absolutely. Base hit to the outfield. It dies on the grass. You probably just have to hit your cutoff man because even though it makes it a 3-0 game, you don't want to allow the runners to advance another base to have second and third.
So 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Shakora takes a strike. Really nice pitch there from Will Thome. And he's 1 strike away from getting out of this jam.
He sure is. And with 2-2, probably want to throw that fastball in the outer part here.
Here's the pitch. Just outside. It's a full count. So the biggest pitch of the ball game upcoming. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the third, 1-0 the score, and the Lightning with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Thome got him to chase the high heat, and that will end the inning. We head to the 4th. The Lightning still lead 1-0. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Top of the fourth, Kyle Smith alongside Connor Klingen as the wind continues here in Lemont. It's been overcast all day. Other than that, though, no rain, no drizzle, and not a lot of scoring. Only score was an RBI ground out. The air does not matter because he wasn't going to go to the plate anyways. And that's where we stand right now, Connor. The decision to not bring the infield in. It's not the decision of the game, but thus far it's starting to become important as we get later on in the ball game.
Yeah, it's been a very tight game here, Kyle, and this is an opportunity for the Hitmen, though, to get something going. We'll see a new pitcher for the Lemont Lightning, Will Sham. He'll have to face the top of the order for the Hitmen, starting off with Christian Nicholas.
For the Hitmen, their name is the Hitmen, so let's see if they can hit. That's what they got to do, right? I mean, everything else is working. The defense has been there. The pitching's been there. They just got to find a way to get a couple of hits together, some stolen bases, and we'll have a tie game.
First pitch to Nicholas, misses outside from Sham.
It's something about us working a game today, Connor, and that Canelan game, we had a no-hitter.
Yeah.
It was 1-0 going into the 6th, and now we got 1-0 going into the 4th.
Absolutely, yeah. A couple of pitchers' duels.
That was an exceptional performance by Tyler Conklin that night.
It was, absolutely. Definitely one you'll always remember. Actually, that was still the first and only no-hitter that I've seen live.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Does TV count? Did you watch Burley's perfect game?
I watched both of Burley's no-hitters.
But not
I'm
the
not
perfecto.
counting TV. I watched the perfecto.
Okay.
So I saw that. I did miss Philip Umber's perfect game. I watched Giolito's no-hitter. I watched Rodon's no-hitter.
Isn't it amazing in the entire history of baseball, only 2 pitchers have thrown a no-no or perfect game in the postseason?
Yeah. No, it's pretty remarkable, but I mean, that tells you too. I mean, everything's so heightened at that time. It's a pretty amazing thing to do, as that misses for ball 4. So Christian Nicholas will reach with a leadoff walk to start the 4th inning.
You know, my dad, being a huge White Sox fan, he brought in his friend, said, "Oh, I have a friend who wants to teach the kids the game." Okay. It was Milt Pappas. And my dad said, even though I love the Sox, I still think you had a perfect game that was taken away from you because of that ball 4, which should have been strike 3. It's pretty funny though. The Milt Pappas teaching the kids, and my dad, being a diehard White Sox fan, still think that Milt Pappas should have had that perfect game.
So here's Lucian Sullivan.
Everything matters. It's so hard to pitch, and being so young, your brains aren't fully developed yet. You always think about what kids are thinking about, but it's not a playoff game. It's not a tournament game, but it's opening day. You know, your game, you're being broadcasted. You know, nobody wants to give up the game-tying run.
And that one misses downstairs.
No, I've said this a lot. I don't want to sound repetitive, but walks aren't the worst thing in the world in a game like this, because any kind of double can really change the momentum. But a walk, it's still station to station. A double, though, the runner scores from first, and then it's runner at second, nobody out.
We haven't seen, I mean, it's not an easy day to hit. You don't want to take anything away from these two teams with how windy it is. Just being able to see the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand, you're being affected by the wind. It makes it tough really on both sides, but so far it's played to the advantage of the pitching staff of both teams.
It sure has, as a pickoff play at first base, but it's just been a fun game. This is what baseball is known for. Great defense, good catching, good framing, and just timely hitting.
2-1. Cut on and miss by Lucian Sullivan, who reached third base back in the first inning after he drew a walk, but he was stranded there. That's the closest the Hitmen have come to scoring in this one.
What makes baseball great, there is no time clock. It's all about pitches.
2-2, that misses, and the runner goes. Nicholas will easily reach second base.
Nothing the catcher could do. It's a stolen base. It's not defensive indifference, but nothing you can do. The hardest one to throw somebody out is a fastball in the dirt. Only one that can really do it is Yadier Molina.
So now the 3-2 popped up behind home plate.
As much as people mocked Jorge Posada for his defensive liabilities, I saw him once throw out a guy, a fastball in the dirt, on his knees, chucked it to second. He wasn't great consistently behind the plate, but he would show that athleticism behind the dish.
Now the 3-2 popped up once again back behind home plate. So a good job here by Lucian Sullivan keeping this at-bat alive.
Absolutely, and you look at the stats from last year, when you look at the Hitmen, Sullivan did not play for the Hitmen last year. So these teams, they'll mix and match from other travel programs. Some people will play up from playing Park District ball the year before.
Popped up once again behind home plate. Hope they're not running out of baseballs too quickly here.
Yeah, you'll see that sometimes. That's why you always bring the bucket of balls. It's not just to, do some pop flies and some ground balls. It's also to have some backup baseballs for the umpire.
So we'll see the payoff pitch once again.
They do have a lot of pop in this lineup. Tomei with 4 homers from last year.
And that missed for ball 4. Saw Sullivan had to wait there to see what the call was, but he'll take first base.
It's just so tough, right? 3-2, you just can't throw something on the inner part. First base was open. You don't want to walk him, but you can't allow a base in that situation either.
Here's Casey Fleming, and he fouls that one off his foot.
Yeah, that was a break for the Hitman. That looked like it was destined for shortstop for a 643 double play. Hard to do at 13U, but it looked like it might have been a 3-hopper to short. That's an easier one to turn at the 13U level.
Oh, 1. Swung on a miss.
0-2 hole. Just got to make contact. Because it's 13 and under and not the pros, it's so hard to turn to. If you make contact, it's most likely going to be second and third and first and third here.
See what Sham goes with. 0-2. That misses outside. It gets by the catcher. Both runners will advance.
Yeah, that's a pass ball if he touched it. If he didn't, it's a wild pitch. Regardless, 2 ducks on the pond. Now decision time for Matthew Swanson and the assistants for the Lightning. If you put them on, it loads the bases, and you don't necessarily have to bring the infield in.
Count still 1-2 to Fleming. And he fouls it back.
Even on 1-2, it's not a terrible decision to put him on, but I do like you want your pitcher to battle here. See if you can strike him out. He's been late on the fastball thus far.
Well, and you're also in the heart of the order here. You have Gavin Sauter, the cleanup hitter, waiting on deck. The 1-2. That's outside.
And, that's why I don't love when I see catchers go to one knee, because it's stuff like that kids learn, and they're like, okay, I'll go to one knee to frame it. But when you do that and the fastball's starting to go on the outer part like that, it's almost impossible for an umpire to call strike 3 on that pitch.
2-2. That's fouled to the left side. It's been impressive. The Hitmen, we saw it in the last at-bat with Sullivan, and now with Fleming doing a nice job just staying alive with 2 strikes.
2-2, I think you just have to have your most confident pitch on this sequence.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout there for Sham, and there's 1 away.
Yep, that's why they're the coaches. I'm the broadcaster. I personally would have walked him, and I was looking okay on those first 2 foul balls, but then eventually with the fastball got him for the first out.
Well, now you have Gavin Sauter, the outfield backs up, the big cleanup hitter, left-handed power bat in the lineup for the Hitmen. But a big rip and a miss at the first pitch. Wind is blowing directly in.
Yeah, because it's not a because there's not a lot of wind going towards the plate, and because it rained last night, you're not going to get those dust storms today.
Count at 1-1.
We do apologize. The generator's not working. I'll have to go to the backup laptop soon. But for now, we hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Check that. That was strike 3 on Sutter. So 2 straight strikeouts from Sean to get 2 outs. And now he'll face Dimitri Johnson.
Big pitch right here. If it's right down the middle, swing at it. Try to get the lead.
First pitch. Fastball on the outer half for a strike. So the count at 0-1. Sham trying to keep the lead for the Lightning. Ahead 1-0. The Hitmen threatening. Johnson, line drive right to the first baseman who makes the catch for the 3rd out. What a play over there by Swanson to end the inning. So the Hitmen threaten, but it's still 1-0 Lightning here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com.
13U. I'd like to apologize for some technical difficulties here. We had a bit of a generator outage. We are dealing with high winds today, so we do appreciate all of you out there bearing with us. Top of the 5th inning, and the Lightning ahead 1-0 here in Lemont. Leading it off for the Hitmen is Gavin Garganto against Will Sham. Garganto, the 6th hitter in the order for the Hitmen. And he grounds this one towards 3rd. Up with it, and the throw to first in time from Ethan Shakora. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Will goes by the nickname The Thrill. Will the Thrill Sham. Right-hander, a sidewinder, 3/4 arm release, and that makes it a little bit tricky to pick up the baseball. As Peter Carter steps in, and he's ahead in the count, 2-0. One away here in the top of the 5th. Sky down the right side, but well fouled. So 2-1 the count here to Carter. As Sham steps out of the rubber. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Line to second base, that's through into right field. The throw from the outfield, not in time. So Carter with a 1-out single. That'll bring up Reed Staub.
Connor, you've been doing a great job dealing with everything right now, but we got everything back on track. 1 out, runner at first. And, sometimes you have all the equipment you need, and I'm going to get Liam's charger ready to go. But, Connor, you're going to be on your own for a couple more seconds.
As Reed Staub will step in here with 1 down, top of the 5th inning. Carter aboard at first base. Carter with a hefty lead. He will not be running as that's fouled back. Sham comes set near the cap, throw over to first, and Carter is back well in time. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Delayed steal there from Carter, and he's able to take second base. That ball got away there from the catcher.
What count do we have, Connor?
We have it at 2-1, I believe. We're waiting here on Game Changer, I think, for that last pitch.
We got to have Game Changer for Major League Baseball. Maybe that's why people are not tuning in. Each manager has Game Changer. So one person calls it a hit, the other person calls it an error. One person says line drive, the other person says fly ball.
I can tell you, having worked in minor league baseball, that is the way the managers feel. Everything is either, depending on the side, it's a hit or an error according to them.
And that's why we have these nice little analytical formulas like weighted runs created plus and range factor and all of that.
Swing and a miss from Staub. So the count now 1-2. As the wind continues to pick up here in Lemont. Once again, I want to apologize for some of the technical difficulties as this is popped up on the infield. And the catcher, was he able to hang on? No, but it was a foul ball.
So to make sure, because I've been doing 10,000 things, I got 1 and 2 and 2 out.
You got 1 and 2 and 1 out.
1 out, okay.
As this is popped up to the right side, out of play. Ethan Shakura there, the catcher, just wasn't able to hold on.
Catcher, catching is so hard, and then you got to catch the ball. I mean, those little pop flies, you never expect them, and all eyes are on you. So you catch it, everybody forgets about it. You drop it, and everybody remembers. That's a lot of pressure.
That pitch misses outside. Count evens up at 2-2. Tying run at second base. The form of Peter Carter with Reed Staub at the plate against Will the Thrill Sham.
I think they might have to call everybody the Thrill. Everybody for the Lightning has been thrilling today.
2-2, misses high and away. Great pitching performance for Lemont thus far.
I mean, the Hitmen have been great too. I mean, this could go either way, this ball game, and it has. We got a runner in scoring position with 2 out.
Here's the 3-2. That's inside for ball 4, so Staub reaches with a walk. There's runners at first and second. Still just 1 out in this top of the 5th.
I don't know about you, Connor, but if I'm the batter here for the Hitman, I'm sitting on a fastball and I'm trying to drill it into the outfield.
And Marty Moonen unable to catch up to the first pitch.
Well, he saw a fastball he wanted, and sometimes you got to be aggressive. Some coaches like the Kevin Youkilis, the way you attack the plate. And, for me, I kind of like first pitch swinging.
0-1 on the outside corner. Good pitch from Sham, and he's ahead in the count 0-2.
0-2. It might be in the dirt. Not a terrible call here if you want to do a double steal. But, man, you got to have confidence in your base runners to pull that off this late in the game.
0-2 pitch. That's fouled back to the screen.
Yeah, missing your spot. If that's low and away, or even if it's like right down the middle, but then it dies because of the changeup. But when you miss your spot, man, it's not going to be as crucial in 13U, but if you do that at the varsity level, that's going to be a double down the line.
0-2. Skied into right field. Long run out there, and that drops in for a hit. They'll send the runner home, throw to second. He is out, but the tying run scores in the meantime.
Well, they called him safe. I don't know why, and that is a huge call by the home plate umpire. So here's the mechanic, if you're wondering at home. One man, it's tough. It's almost impossible. What you have to do as a home plate umpire is you have to run out to the mound, and you stop, and you see if he caught it. Then you run about 2 more steps towards second, and you stop. You can't make a call on the run. I don't mind the call so much. Well, I kind of mind the call. But also, out of position. You can't be behind the plate on a play like that when you had enough time to get out to the pitcher's mound.
Marty Moonen with the critical hit to tie this game at 1. The RBI single. As here's Will Tomey with runners at first and second. The Hitmen still threatening, just one out in this top of the fifth.
Yeah, it's kind of a no doubles defense. Usually you want your right fielder a little bit closer to the line with the way these Hitmen have had trouble, and they've been late on a lot of those fastballs on the outer part. But, you know, darn if you do, darn if you don't. Let's say he plays at normal depth, and then it's in the gap, and then you're in real trouble because you have a double that might have scored two.
Sham comes set. Here's the pitch. Popped up on the infield. Sham, the pitcher, makes the call and makes the catch for the second out.
The reason why at the major league level pitchers don't catch the ball is some physical therapists believe that it hurts the back. You know, you get off the mound, and it's a little bit more upper level than playing shortstop. So you're coming up from above, and then you get off, and then you have to run. I don't think so, but I can understand why some coaches don't want their pitchers catching fly balls.
As Mazer pops it up to second, and that will end the inning. But the Hitmen tie it up on the RBI single by Marty Moonen. We head to the bottom of the fifth, tied up at 1.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Back to the action, bottom of the fifth. It's Lemont 1, the Hitman 1. This might be a 2-1 final. We'll see in the next couple of innings.
No doubt about it. We saw the Hitmen tie it up the top half of this fifth inning.
Isn't that something? You never think managing matters, but the 2 runs that have scored, one was because the infield wasn't in, and the other because the right fielder was playing more to the right, no doubles defense, and those weren't wrong decisions, but they impacted the game.
They certainly did, and it's a very tight ball game, as now we'll see Taylor Mazer, the new pitcher for the Hitmen.
And you know, that's why spray charts, I don't think they matter that much, but they do tell you where hitters generally hit. And it's cool that Game Changer has that, and it's up to the managers to kind of analyze where these hitters hit. And that is really interesting, that it's a 1-1 score, and both runs scored due to managers' decisions. I mean, of course, there were stolen bases and everything before that, but it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was a big play, yeah, sending the runner from third and getting that run scored to tie it up. I think a game like this, you have to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, if the Lightning hadn't done on contact, they'd be down 1-0. So they sent him, and shortstop was back. He made the error. Didn't really matter because nobody scored after that. But even if he had not made the error, it would have been nobody on and 2 outs. But here we go, bottom of the fifth. We're running out of daylight, and right now the time is 6:54. We probably can't start an inning after 7:15.
Anthony Pecoraro will lead it off for Lemont. And he takes a strike from Taylor Mazer.
Both teams have been very confident in taking the first pitch, and if that's your strategy, you can't change things now.
As that misses upstairs over the head of Pecoraro.
And that's kind of the difference between Park District and Travel Ball. Park District, you won't have the discipline to lay off that high fastball. Both teams travel. They've been playing a long time. Travel Ball laid off that high fastball.
Here's the 1-1. Pecoraro grounds it towards the third baseman. Johnson, the throw to first in time. Nice play there by Dimitri Johnson for the 5-3 putout.
Yeah, that's kind of the hidden secrets of playing first base is it doesn't look that difficult, but you have to make split decisions, executive decisions. Do I stretch for the ball, or do I have enough time to get off, catch, and come to the bag?
And Gavin Garganto.
Yeah, all you have to do is know what kind of stretching ability you have as a first baseman, your athleticism, how to jump up to get the ball. Great job by the first base for the hitman to make that play.
So now Joey Fiore steps up for the Lightning. Had the count 1-0. And that misses upstairs, so he's ahead 2-0.
In the catbird seat, 2-0. Anything on the inner part, you're swinging. Anything on the outer part, you're letting it go and hope it's ball 3.
As we approach 7 o'clock here in Lemont, the 2-0. Fiore takes a strike.
It was a pitcher's pitch. It was definitely a strike, though. It looked like it was crossing just below the knees, and you don't play a major league strike zone at this age level anyway. That's not a pitch you want, though, on 2-0.
Now the 2-1. Swing and a miss from Fiore. Count evens up at 2-2.
Hope you're enjoying the game. We sure are. And maybe we'll get a walk-off today. Wouldn't that be something?
It's certainly possible. As the 2-2 misses low and away. So it runs to a full count here to Fiore. With 1 down, bottom of the 5th. Nobody aboard for the Lightning.
Man, oh man, now it's really starting to pick up. That's the loudest it's been all night.
As there is ball 4 to Fiore, so he reaches with a walk. It's back to the top of the order for the Lightning with Nate Gawenda.
We're fighting a battle with Mother Nature, and right now
Yes,
Mother
we
Nature's
are.
winning.
And I have to say, I might have just felt the drop as well.
My goodness.
As if the weather couldn't get any worse, although it's supposed to be worse tomorrow.
Well, we wouldn't even, I don't think we're going to even be playing baseball tomorrow.
I don't think so. Yeah, I was supposed to, I actually have tickets to the White Sox game tomorrow. I don't think that's happening. As Nate Gawenda, even up the count at 1-1. Gawenda started this game for the Lightning on the mound. Did a really nice job, 3 scoreless innings. Fiore aboard at first base. 1-1. Wave and a miss there. Gawenda chased one out of the zone. See a little frustration there from Nate. Slammed his bat down. Not happy that he went after that pitch.
If you're wondering why the Lightning aren't doing a hit and run, they did one earlier in the game, and they almost had a double play against them. So he can't afford another double play. And the defense for the Hitmen has been there today. In fact, the defense, even though they're called the Hitmen, the defense has been stealing the show for Illinois. So.
And that's a balk, so Fiore will head to second base. So Fiore created enough of a problem there for Mazur. Ended up balking, and runner at second in scoring position for the Lightning. The 1-2 to Gawenda. That's in the dirt. Fiore's heading for third. The throw down. They got him. No, he's safe.
Yep.
Under the tag.
Yeah, ball dropped as well, out of the glove. Good call by the umpire. He's made some interesting ones, some controversial calls, but that was the right call. And now the infield, you think, has to come in for Illinois. And that it is.
What a job by Fiore. Aggressive there. Nearly was thrown out. The ball popped out. As that misses low and away.
The only reason that was a ball is because the catcher's mitt was in the dirt. If it was a little higher and the mitt was above the dirt, that's probably strike 3 at the 13U level.
So it's now a full count to Gawenda. Oh, and that hit him. So Gawenda will take first base.
That was somewhat of a break for the Hitman because of the secondaries that Fiore's getting at third base. He could have considered stealing home, but it's a short backstop. You have 2 outs to work with. I don't know, but it hit him, so it doesn't really matter anyway. It's a moot point, and they're going to talk it over, make sure he's okay. It's 13U, so the safety of it is he can leave and come back in, and it's not going to be an automatic out if he comes back in. If he doesn't come back in, it's still not an automatic out.
Well, we see the home plate umpire talking to both coaches. You wonder now if darkness is starting to become an issue.
It definitely is. I personally think you could play a 6th, But the problem is because these innings have been dragging on with the walks, I don't know if you can risk it. And so they're going to talk it over, and this might be you win now or it's a 1-1 tie. And that kind of stings because you'd like to see a winner in this one, but you also have to play the safety elements, and you have to play the safety element game. Is it safe or not for these ball players? They're only 13 years old. They've got their whole lives ahead of them. You can't afford it to be too dark and a guy gets hit with a pitch because he didn't see it coming.
So it is the bottom of the 5th here, so perhaps an opportunity for the Lightning to win this ball game.
Yeah, potential walk, because he's probably going to steal second anyways. They've talked it over with the coaching staff, and now we don't have the umpire and the coaches, Swanson and Carlin, mic'd up for the Hitmen and the Lightning respectively, but
that's got to be a future investment.
Oh, I've got the mics, but it's a hassle to get set up.
Here's Sywick, and that misses low and away. Bases loaded for the Lightning in this 1-1 game.
It's a shame, too, but the other issue is, too, even if we had played a 6th inning, I don't know if the Hitmen would have scored anyways. And you could always play that game all night long, but here we go. This most likely will be the game runner at third base.
As that misses outside to Sywick, so he's now ahead in the count 2-0.
Outfield shallow, anything over the head, they're probably not going to go after anyways.
And we do not have confirmation that this last inning, so potentially could have 3 runs here if you hit it over the head of the outfield.
That's true. I think they're just going to play it as a bottom of the 7th, and it would be a walk-off walk or a sacrifice fly or whatever.
As it's now Sywick well ahead in the count.
That's interesting you bring that up, though, Connor, because some of the tiebreakers are runs scored for your seeding for the WSBL.
3-0 pitch. He was taking all the way, and that is strike 1.
Could have gone either way. I always hate that rule. It's got to be a strike unless it's just so blatantly bad that it's a ball. But it was close, and I understand why the umpire called it a ball there.
The 3-1. Sywick pops it up to the right side and out of play.
That's close. And the generator goes out again, but we've got enough battery, I think. Oh, boy.
Well, got enough battery if this is the last inning.
Well, I think we're just going to have to call it for the stream. So we appreciate you guys watching. We've got, oh, man, what a night. What a night it's been.
Here's the pitch to Sywick. And that misses outside for ball 4, so the run comes in to score to make it 2-1 Lightning as Sywick takes the walk and the Lightning win it 2-1. They're going to call it for darkness. The Lemont Lightning start out their season 1-0, and Mason Sywick draws the walk-off walk to give the Lightning the victory.
Well, I asked if it was going to be a walk-off. It's not really a walk-off. It's a 5-inning walk-off because of conditions, but you know what? They're 13. We'll call it a walk-off win. How about that? The walk-off walk as the Lightning wins opening day.
You'll take the win any way you can get it, and an exciting finish to a well-played ball game, well-pitched, good defense on both sides, and an exciting win for the Lightning.
All right, Connor, you've had a tough day, man. You're dealing with that Chicago traffic. You pick who gets the MVP for the Lightning, who gets the MVP for the Hitmen.
Well, I'm actually going to go with Nate Gawenda for the Lightning with 3 innings of scoreless baseball to start off this game. I know Sywick had the game-winning walk, but I'm going to go with Gawenda with the 3 innings pitch. And for the Hitmen, I will go with Marty Moonen.
Okay.
Who had that RBI single that tied up this game, but unfortunately for the Hitmen, the Lightning come out 2-1 winners.
Yeah, that's the problem with no lights. It always favors the home team, right? Because you never know how many innings you're going to play. But they're called the Hitmen for a reason. They're a very good hitting team. I've seen them in previous travel games. They just didn't have the hitting shoes on tonight, and it's very hard to win games when you only score 1 run. There's only one way to do it, and I don't see Mark Burley becoming a 13-year-old anytime soon, going into the DeLorean, going back to his 13-year self. It just didn't happen tonight for the Hitman, but they played a heck of a game, and they're going to have a heck of a season at the 13U level.
Tough night to hit in this kind of wind. but a well-played game defensively and pitching from both teams, and give credit to the Lightning coming away 2-1 winners.
All right, so we're going to go with Connor's decisions for MVPs of the game. So for Liam Karate, Connor Kling, and I'm Kyle Smith. That does it for our play-by-play broadcast. Post-game interviews coming up next, brought to you by the Lemont Lightning.
This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. off okay with a strikeout to Jeff Blauser, but then location and accuracy came to bite him in the butt. A walk to Lonnie Smith, including a can't-have-it wild pitch, put Kelly in a tough spot. Guthrie was able to jam Terry Pendleton, but with Chuck Knobloch playing a double-play depth, Pendleton's little nubber got enough of the AstroTurf to give him ample time to claim the infield single. Just like that, we have bases loaded, and Kelly was forced to go to the bullpen yet again. In came Carl Willis. It was also decision time for Kelly. Should he bring the infield in, bring in the corners and play double play depth, or play double play depth around the infield? The Twins decided to play back with the middle infield, and it cost them. Ron Gant's ground ball in between the third base and shortstop hole allowed him to beat out the fielder's choice, and the Braves were once again in business.
Gant with a good jump out of the box just beats the play.
A 3-3 tie with runners on the corners. Willis was in a huge pickle, but he threw a devastating 2-2 off-speed pitch to Davis Justice to get him to swing and miss. The lead was gone, but the tie still remained. The Twins had a golden opportunity to retake the lead in the bottom of the eighth. Puckett stole second base with 2 outs, but Shane Mack couldn't drive him in. Nobody got close to tying it in the ninth, so Braves fans had to wait until extra innings to see if their team would be sipping the champagne in the locker room. Remember, this is a big deal for Braves fans.
Welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Sports Broadcast Solutions. My name is Kyle Smith, but my name, of course, doesn't matter. This young matters. Nate Gowenda, a great pitching performance, 3 scoreless innings, helping his team win 2-1. Great pitching performance overall for the Lightning today. Nate, you were doing so well, changing speeds, locating that fastball. What have you been working on your bullpen sessions with your coaching staff?
I've been working on location-wise, just off-speed a lot, and just painting the corners and stuff.
Big game today, opening day. Was there any pressure, any nerves, or did you feel confident during your off-season sessions getting ready for this opening day game today?
There was a lot of confidence coming in. There was a little bit of nervousness before coming in the game, but after the game, solid.
They're called the Hitmen, but they only scored 1 run today. What does that mean to you? The defense was there, the pitching was there, the catching and the framing was there to help you guys get the win. A very highly contested defensive battle today.
Yeah. It was a good game. I'm proud of our defense, and yeah, good offense too. So yeah.
How about that double play, 9-3-2 put out to keep it a 1-0 game?
Yeah, that's awesome. I gotta give props to Kyle for that one. But yeah, thank you.
Final thoughts about the game going into your future ones. Hopefully that we get some good Mother Nature and no rain. It was looking a little iffy there when it was getting darker and overcast.
Yeah, it was very windy on the mound. I had to step off a couple times, but it was a good overall game on our behalf. But just keep working, keep going on through the season.
So I got to know, are you more of an icing the shoulder guy, or do you like to use heat?
I use ice.
You're more of an ice guy?
Yeah, I'm more of an ice guy.
All right, Nate, on 3, go Lightning. 1, 2, 3.
Go Lightning.
That does it for our post-game show. So for Liam Crotty, Bob Vilsue, Connor Kling, and I'm Kyle Smith. Once again, final score, a 2-1 victory for the Lightning, and we'll see you next time on Sports Broadcast Solutions.